Now then, I hope you're well. As just going through some archives of some pictures I've taken last year, I've just come across ones that I shot at the back end of last year. It's kind of when we were allowed out, just before lockdown part 2, I think, or was it after? I have no idea when it was. But yeah, like my friend Helen, who's kind of a roller skater in quads, she asked me to come and take some pictures. She says she's got an invite to a private pool. I thought, oh, that sounds interesting. I'm always up for a bit of adventure. So I kind of thought, yep, let's do it. Let's go along. So I headed over. When I walked into this guy's garden, I was like, whoa, this is insane. Like this pool was like, oh wow, this shouldn't be allowed. And it takes me back to when I kind of first started skateboarding. I don't know, I spent 20 odd years skateboarding, and one of the first films, like skateboard films, that I ever saw was one called Search for Animal Chin. It came out in 1987. I remember watching it at my mate's flat, Scheming Dave's flat in Headingley, and it's now like a legendary film. And it was all about this team. They went skating, they went looking for this legendary skater called Animal Chin, and part of it was they'd find all these like amazing skate spots that they'd only heard of but they didn't know existed. And that's exactly the feelings that I got when I walked into this garden. I remember 20 odd years ago, I heard rumours about this guy who had an amazing garden pool, and I have a feeling that, like my friend who I used to skate with, Cookie, rest in peace, he was invited to the opening and we never went. Something happened. And yeah, so when I walked in, I immediately knew that it was this legendary bowl that I'd heard stories of and I'd seen in magazines as well. So I was like, oh my word, this is insane. So yeah, my head were a bit of all over the place. It was a bit of a shed because I was just so excited, and I can't skateboard like I used to be able to skateboard. I'm old these days, and my body's doesn't work as well as it used to. So, but I was interested. I was a bit scared, but then I saw the girls. Like I met up with the girls, and again that was really surreal because I was driving to the place and I pulled up and I saw these girls pulling out of like a pickup truck, and they all had like dungarees on, and it just didn't seem weird. I think you're in Wigan. I was like, what? It's not right. It's just something surreal, and the whole day was surreal. But yeah, I was there to do a photo shoot, and these are the results. I rocked up and I had like all this lighting equipment because, again, it's like when I was growing up and looking at skateboard magazines, everything was like you had to use lights. But then I realised that the Be Good skaters who are photographing, they weren't going out there to get like 5-foot airs. So I had to kind of rein things in. I was like, how can I make something of this when the skill level isn't kind of professional level, but we still want to tell a good story? So I just went into documentary mode, and it's what I should have done straight away. I shouldn't have even faffed around with lights or thought about lights for a second, but that's how my mind was. It's like, oh, action, you must use lights, but you don't have to. So we were just playing. It wasn't about a photo shoot. It's about getting out. It was about having fun and just, enjoying this amazing place. And it was such a brilliant day. But yeah, it was just surreal because every so often I'd look, and because Helen and this other girl were like wearing these like yellow dungarees and stuff, it was like it was in California. the pictures looked like it was in California. In fact, I was going to like put some California preset in on them and make them look really dreamy, but I thought, nah, make them look northern. So yeah, but it was brilliant. It was just such a fab day, and I just loved doing this. So I'll just go through a few pictures because I'm just like, yeah, I'm still gobsmacked that I went to this legendary bowl. So we started off and everyone was just kind of dropping in, learning how to carve, because there's a technique of carving the bowl, and I think once you get that, then it's brilliant. You don't even have to do any tricks. So everyone was just learning carving before trying to get to the coping. And I was just trying to capture just what was happening. Some people could get to the coping and do like a trick on it. Some people had tried to do a little air out of it. But I was like, right, how can I make this look good? So it's just tell a story, capture the people who are there. And that's exactly what I did. So some of them I put in black and white because I thought it worked. Others just look Californian with a Northern England twist, like moody skies and rain. But yeah, it was just such a bizarre feeling. But yeah, it's like, for the camera geeks out there, I using 2 cameras really. I started off with a little Ricoh because I just wanted to see what it could do. I just wanted to see what I could do with a point and shoot camera. And it did alright, to be fair. It's not the best when it comes to action because the focusing isn't fast enough, but it was alright. And then I kind of used a mixture of, I was using a Canon 5D Mark III, and I was using 24-70 lens at first, and then I used a 15-30, and then for the closer up stuff I used a 70-200, and that's all I used. I didn't use any flash, didn't use any lights, and just that, right, just capture them. Use shutter speeds of like 640 mainly, just so I could get enough kind of speed. It wasn't, I didn't want to pump the ISO up too much because I didn't want to go like, ideally it'd be good to go 1,000th of a second, but I didn't want the pictures to be grainy. So yeah, I just captured what were happening, and yeah, it's like the blue and the yellow and the red, it just didn't seem right, but it worked. So yeah, I was just seeing what I could capture, and eventually people started getting confidence up. Jen, who was a bit of a nutter anyway, she was starting to air out the bowl. So at one point I was standing on some ladders to try and get some kind of interesting pictures, but I also wanted to show the bowl and the people in the background, and just tell the story really. But yeah, it was these images of Helen where she's wearing like some yellow jumpsuit thing with purple skates and blue helmet, and everything just looks like it's California from the like 1970s. It was just such a surreal thing. So there you have it anyway. I'll just put some pictures on. When I'm doing something like this, I'm trying to get pictures like close-up pictures of the skates, because I know that they're going to use these pictures for social media, and pictures like this help sell the skates, which is kind of important. I also want to get the falls. For me, falling is just as impressive as landing a trick. So if you can capture a good picture of a fall, then that's what I'm after. You know, you don't even have to show people's faces. And yeah, it was an ace day, and I'm just looking forward to doing more of it when we're allowed out. So if you have any kind of hobbies or sports that you do, you want some photos or to tell a story about what happens in a fun way, then get in touch, and I'll come over, because I love this sort of stuff. It's makes me happy. Right, I will leave you to it. Have fun. Give me a shout if you have any questions. I didn't go too much into any tech about the pictures, but if anyone wants anything, I can always tell them the settings and stuff, but I don't want to get too geeky. Right, have fun.